This is MCRD, officially Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. When a fresh young Marine recruit arrives here, he gets a special warm greeting. It's a welcome that will linger in his memory forever.
You are now at receiving barracks, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Hundreds of thousands of young men have entered here, gone through recruit training, and come out Marines. You can too. While you're here, you'll be treated like men. In return, we demand instant obedience to all orders and regulations. When a Marine fails to obey orders, he is punished. If you fail to obey orders while you're here, you'll be punished also. Now, the first thing you're going
These are the first words the new Marine recruit hears. Already, he has learned the meaning of fear. Thousands of young men from Ohio to the Pacific coast arrive at the San Diego Marine Recruit Depot each year to stand on footprints painted for them on the pavement, like so many quivering statues, learning at once what the drill instructor calls instant obedience. Their transformation from lowly civilians to United States Marines will take 8 weeks. The boys won't be called Marines until they graduate from here, but they begin to look the part right away. This is the famous boot haircut, administered by a cold-hearted barber who must have been trained shaving peaches. It seems his only purpose is to sever from the head that last vestige of civilian individuality. Maybe a certain amount of civilian pride goes with it, but in its place a new pride will develop, the pride of the Corps. Private Robert Hayes of Arvada, Colorado will earn that pride, and in time his face will show it. Hayes' parents live at 10931 West 60th Avenue in Arvada. Hayes is 23, about 5 years older than the average Marine recruit. The first meal at MCRD is no feast, but it's plenty wholesome, and the food soon tastes good to hungry appetites. Says the drill instructor, "All right, girls, sit." The recruits soon learn where they get the nickname Boot. Once the processing phase is completed and clothing and weapons are drawn, the boys are put into 84-man platoons. They'll stay together as a unit for the entire 8-week training period. It's said that today's raw material is not as physically fit as the civilian newcomers were in the old days. The physical readiness test helps determine how much progress the Corps is making in its avowed purpose to build men. These exercises are timed. In addition, boys who are overweight or weak go to a special physical training platoon to build them up before they undergo regular training. So-called negative attitudes are dealt with in the motivational platoon. There also is a discipline platoon. Traditionally, the Marine Corps has been made up of volunteers, men who want to be Marines. But again, draftees are being assigned here, about 1,800 last month. They have to learn to want to be Marines, even when they march like a bunch of guided muzzles until they have to wear tennis shoes. Screaming like a bunch of bayoneted banshees, these boots are practicing individual combat with a pugil stick. They're learning the art of self-defense and attack, using a padded stick that's the same weight and length as a rifle and bayonet. Says the depot commanding officer, Major General Bruno Hochmuth, we don't believe in a gradual transition from civilian to military. Indelibly imprinted on the mind of the young recruit next to the image of the drill instructor is the obstacle course. He meets it soon and he gets to know it well. Portions are run and rerun until each obstacle is met and mastered. The basic training period here at MCRD is 8 weeks now instead of the usual 11-week boot camp. The abbreviation was necessitated by the Vietnam situation. It means a reduction in some of the so-called less essential training. To Private Hayes, nothing could be less essential than this, but the Marine Corps has its own ideas. 10 hours of classroom time on the care and feeding of the M14 rifle are supplemented by 89 hours of marksmanship training. After 8 weeks in recruit training here, the boys will graduate and receive 4 weeks of combat infantry tactics and fighting skills at Camp Pendleton, California, followed by more training on Okinawa. At Pendleton and Okinawa, the emphasis on guerrilla warfare is heavy. Meanwhile, the Boots Bible, this little red notebook, fills rapidly with information on what to do and what not to do as a Marine.
Private Hayes! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Why are you looking at an airplane when you're supposed to be standing at attention? Hey, yes, sir! License down alongside you, Snake. Get out. Get that rifle down there on the deck. Yes, sir! Start doing squat for us. Yes, sir!
Private Hayes doesn't need many of these special sessions with a drill instructor to learn two things. First of all, pay attention. And second, DIs must take mean pills with every meal. But finally, the big day arrives. After 31 hours of inspections, 43 hours of physical conditioning, 98 hours of mess and maintenance duty, and a multitude of informational lectures, character guidance classes, lectures in Marine Corps history and tradition, plus a memorable 4-hour conditioning march, graduation day means the goal has been reached. The first phase, the recruit phase of training, has been completed. Private Hayes won't graduate for another week or so, but when he does, he'll be a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and a lot tougher. And he'll know what it means to be a Marine. It's a pride and feeling of accomplishment that has been earned. And at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, nearly 30,000 men have earned it so far this year. The Marine Corps combat tradition speaks for itself.